What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for cooling with Jay as always. So today's video is gonna be a much serious mood. I want to start off by saying that anything I say in this video, of course, is obviously my own opinion. Everybody out there is entitled to do whatever they want and think however they want. You know, this is not me trying to convince you should think this way. This is just me trying to use my life, my situation to hopefully out there inspire somebody else, and also be very transparent in the process. Why I'm making this video is because my whole life started with, first it was Circuit City, then it was Route 21, Best Buy, Nike, and now this. So this is I've had other jobs in between those, but it was like the four major jobs. I've worked the ladder up through all four, I guess you want to call it. But I've still struggled since the day I was born, or I've been conscious of being, is why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? What is my destiny? What is my calling? Where's that favor, right? That place where you feel like the doors just open up and things just fall into place kind of thing. And first I thought it was soccer, and it wasn't. And then I thought it was sales, because I was and probably am still very good at selling. I was top seller at Circuit City. I was top seller at Route 21. I was top seller at Best Buy. Nike was in sales, so there's no word to say that, but I was always very good at selling, pitching, talking with people, that sort of thing. So I left Nike a year ago now, over a year ago. Actually, almost a year, sorry. I left Nike back in November to basically pursue where I'm at now. And I make this video because this last 2 months has been tough. It's been tough because from a humanistic standpoint, I'm failing. From a humanistic standpoint, humans believe that the first time you touch something, it should succeed. And if it doesn't, that means you're supposed to change, you're doing the wrong thing, it's not the right timing, all of that. And, I didn't want to make this video a year from now or 2 years from now when I'm successful. I wanted to make this video in the midst of my unsuccess to show you how happy I am. Now, I am stressed financially, emotionally about the situation and how I've risked everything to be where I'm at. I've risked relationship, I've risked finances, I've risked security, I've risked peace, I've risked, safety, all to pursue this YouTube thing. And if y'all haven't watched Denzel Washington's speech, you should. He has a quote in his speech where he says, "If you haven't failed before, you're not trying hard enough." And he also says, to fall forward. So many people talk about, have a backup plan. Basically, what they're saying is, I'm not fully invested in what's here today because I'm afraid it's going to fail, so I'm making a backup. And this is the most stressful I've been in my life. Finance, like I said, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's also some of the happiest I've been. In the sense of, I'm finally getting to see what I'm made of. And I think that's what my dad was talking to me about as a kid. Sorry, I'm trying not to. So as a kid, my dad was pretty hard on me, right? And I always took my dad's hardness as, not loving on me and stuff, and not the fact of him not caring, right? And going through this whole transition, or going through this whole YouTube thing, kind of sheds light on that, in the sense of I understand it now. what he was trying to say, which I think my dad's very bad at how he expresses. I think his intention is great, but how he comes across, I think that's where his struggle is. Because that's funny. That's where my struggle is. People always say it's never what you said; it's how you said it. He always talked about my drive and my fight, right? He always talked about why I wasn't ever going to be good at football, not because I couldn't have skill, but because that's a sport where, like the dog eat dog world, like to fight, and my dad was worried about the fight in me. I think as a kid, I was a little softer. But what I think a bigger meaning of it is you know a person's in the right spot when they're really truly willing to fight. I'll give you an example. We as guys, and I'm sure if girls are out there watching, you know them times when you see the opposite sex and you feel like you would give the world to them, you would fight tooth and nail, you go to the moon and back, all those cheesy lines. But what you're really thinking in your head is that you would do whatever it took. Like failure isn't, like you wouldn't care if you failed if it meant you got them. You wouldn't care if you failed if it meant you got the opportunity, right? And for the first time in my life, I'm okay with failure. Because in failing, I am realizing who I am. In the past year, God's blessed me to be I'm pretty much self-taught. Self-taught photographer, self-taught videographer, self-taught editor. I've taken 1-2 day Adobe Premiere class, and that is it. Everything else has been rolling the dice. The camera I purchased, the sound equipment, the video equipment, all of this has been luck of the draw. Obviously, of course, as some of you know, I did take out a personal loan to do this. The biggest risk I've taken has put me in the most debt I've been at in my life. And I'm up to my ears in it. But at the same time, it's stretching me. It's pulling me and it's tugging me and it's turning me into the man I wanted to become as a kid. Because I finally found something worth fighting for. If somebody was to ask me, Thomas, what do you want from all of this? I want to be the most known YouTuber influencer out there. And then I also, in that turn, I want to use that platform to help motivate others. And I know there's tons of videos out there like this of people out there who've made it and they're telling you about their life story. And I feel like even myself, we all want to wait till we're successful to make these stories. And we're not making these in the midst of it, because then we're either going to show our failure and we're going to fail, or that fear of being, scrutinized, chastised, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to make this video because I just wanted to be more transparent, I know I have tons of happy, fun riding videos, motovlog, bike, gaming, all that stuff's fun. And I do enjoy it. But I also want to give you the flip side of the camera and show you the struggle behind it too. Because it's not easy. Your girlfriends, your wife, your family members, people are going to doubt you in anything you want to do in life that's outside the norm. Normal people don't do what I'm doing. Now, this is also to say that not everybody out there watching this video is called to do YouTube or social media, influencer, gaming. Every kid now wants to be the next ninja. It's the same concept for everybody wants to be the next LeBron. You're called and I'm called to whatever we are individually called to. And if we were all called to the same thing, then it wouldn't be uniqueness. Meaning there will not be another LeBron James. There will be the next most popular basketball player, but his lifestyle will not be the same as LeBron James. Nor Kobe, nor anybody else. Tom Brady, whoever else, there will not be two of the same. You could be great, but how you got to be great Your walk is going to be different. My walk is different from someone else's walk. This video is to not get you to take out a loan. This video is to not get you to be on YouTube. This video is to get people out there to chase after what they believe in their heart that they want. Because if you look at your life right now, and if there's something you want to do and you're not willing to fail at it to see if you can do it, you don't want it. You don't. You don't truthfully want whatever that is. You want what's safe. You want what's practical. You want what's normal. You want what's appealing, what people can agree with. Guys, in the past year, I've had more arguments with people closer to me than I have in my entire life. Entire life. When I went to go to Florida to go to DeVry, no one said a word. It was like, yeah, that's a far distance for somebody who's new going out to, and it's Florida, it's Orlando, Florida. On top of that, like the part, like the normal stuff, right? The partying, going, which I did. I partied, I went crazy, I was in the club scene, heavy, all of that stuff. But even moving from Florida all the way to Oregon, no one said a word. In the sense of like, okay, that's fine. I was single, didn't have a girlfriend, was like a big deal. But going in debt, taking out loans, buying a motorcycle, going more in debt, because the result I want is bigger. The things I want in my life to have, to obtain, are bigger. I don't want to be, and I want to say this word with respect. I don't want to be ordinary. And when I say ordinary, meaning I don't want typical. So I thank Nike. I thank Best Buy. I thank Circuit City. I thank Route 21. Because if they would have accepted me at my half, at what I thought was my best, I wouldn't be able to give y'all my best. Because believe it or not, all those companies screwed me over in their own way. In different videos, I can go over what happened with Best Buy. But basically, I'll say this. Obviously, as y'all know, Circuit City went out of business. When I moved to Best Buy, when I transferred here from Orlando, they owed me a compensation because it's a higher cost of living in Oregon than it is in Orlando. And Best Buy managers told me that, because most retail jobs you get an annual raise, right? So and they said when your annual raise comes up, we will then attach on your compensation. I said, normally you get this once you move, right? But Best Buy was like, no, we'll because your raise is coming up in like 3 months, we'll just do it that way. I'm like, okay. Raise came up, I got the raise. They say they attached the compensation, and they said the computer told the computer system that they input these raises in came back and pushed out the compensation, meaning that it added the raise, but it didn't add the compensation. And these were their words. God will strike me down as a liar if I am lying right now. He will remove my channel. I will everything will be destroyed in my life if this is a lie. They told me to my face that we cannot go back in and change the computer system. Therefore, you'll have to wait for the full 365-year cycle to your next raise to then add your compensation. So for those of you still watching this video, just let that sit for a second. A computer algorithm system that Best Buy created is denying them of something they're trying to input. And they're telling me the same computer, they can't then override it to then put in the compensation. And through all of that, I let my character come into question because that I lost my character through all that. It bothered me. I stopped not caring. I've had a long history of jobs and finance. It's funny when it comes to me and jobs and money, because for me it's always been a struggle. Because jobs tell you what you need to do to get your raises and to tell you what you need to do to be promoted. And then people like me do those things to be promoted. And then when the promotion comes, there's excuse and all the different reasons why they can't give it. And, you know, there's a big stigma around why black African Americans get into sports. But this is why. This is one of the reasons why so many kids out there, young kids, desire to be in sports. I believe a lot of it is because of that. 1-240, you're going to pay me. Now, I'm not saying they should, but what I'm saying is because they cannot not pay you because they want to win. The objective is winning, and you play a vital role in winning. The problem is in like a retail space is even though you might be the number one producer, you're still a small nugget in the chain of that company, right? Because Best Buy has probably over 200 stores or 5,000 stores if it's that. I don't know how many stores they have total, but they got many of stores. So even if you're the top producer in your store, you only net your store a couple 100,000 out of their millions they make per year. My jobs screwing me over or not giving me their best put me in a situation to take a risk. I was pushed, my back was against the wall. And The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, has a speech about that too. About how when you're pushed against the wall, all you have is forward. And all these financial circumstances and all these different jobs put me in a position where I had to reassess what I was doing. And what I was tired of was being in a situation of a manager dictating my worth. And not just that, me not seeing any favor in these jobs put me in a position where I was like, you know what? I think it's time for change. So getting into this whole YouTube thing is the biggest risk I've ever taken in my life. And obviously after a year, it hasn't necessarily paid off like, you know, in a perfect world. Like, you know, there's people out there who go viral in one video, right? I didn't do this to go viral. I didn't do this to get 1 billion subscribers. I didn't do this because I want to be the most popular person on YouTube. I did this because as a kid, there was nothing I enjoyed more than playing video games. And the reason why I changed what I really desire to do was because it didn't make money. And back then, I was born in 88. So back when I was in high school, this would have been 2002 through 06. Just for y'all to know, the internet came out in 1998. Internet. Like you being able to, the World Wide Web, I believe, went live in 1998. So imagine that. Where we're at now, the actual web that we search on every day didn't go live till the 90s. That's the era I grew up in. So no, people weren't making living off of YouTube or gaming or any of that. So it made sense to give that up. And now it's come back around where I have the opportunity to see if I can do it. And it's working. Not at some fast rate, not at some super level, but it is working. And I'm blessed and thankful to be able to do it. So my closing message is that so many people watch YouTubers and aspire to be a YouTuber. And I'm not going to sit up and say, even myself, that this is what we are called to do, or myself included, right? I'm going to be called to do YouTube channel or YouTube forever, right? That might be my springboard into something else. Because truth be told, I never knew I enjoyed doing videos. Like I'll see my videos of doing like the cars and coffee videos, my bike walk around. Like I enjoy making cinematic video. Like I would maybe enjoy producing a movie, which is weird to say because I would have never thought that ever before this. It's also cool because when you do something you've never done, you not only get to see who you are and what you're made of, you also open up the door to things you never thought you would enjoy as well. So my message to y'all is there's going to be a day when we are going to look back at this video and we're both going to laugh and say, dang, Thomas was struggling at that one time. He's not struggling no more. And this video will be archived so people can also, so I can also be on record, say that I was struggling, that it wasn't easy, that I want to give up. Guys, I want to give up many of times this past year. Many of times I want to give up. But I can't. Not can't because I don't want to fail. Can't because I can't. Like, there's not a word in my vocabulary with this. I can give up soccer because I did. I can give up Nike because I did. People say they can't give up Nike. I have friends who are still at Nike struggling, boo-hooing, complaining about it. I can give up Nike because Nike wasn't for me. Nor that I want Nike to be for me. This is what I want to be for me. So therefore can't isn't part of my vocabulary with this. I can't. No matter what happens in the future, this is where I'll be. Because I enjoy it. I love it. Pain and all. Like I said, the most fulfilled I've been in my life. Because finally, I'm doing something that's also strengthening me spiritually, emotionally, mentally. So, with that being said, guys, I thank y'all for coming with Jay. Again, I thank y'all for the past year. Like I said, whether it's 1 view or 1 billion views, man, I take them all very seriously. I just hope out there that, y'all are able to receive what I'm saying. That chase after what you want, but you have to be willing. Have to be willing to fail. Because you probably will. Because I have failed this year. But I'm okay with failing because I finally have found something worth failing for. Alright, guys. I'll see you on the next video.